Hello everyone, welcome to what's probably going to be my last Adobe Animate tutorial. So today we are going to make an animation of a plane landing using motion tweens. Alright, so let's create new, and then as always, these settings should be fine for this. Alright, so first off, I'm going to get my plane. So I'll just drag this right in there. Alright, and then this is like really big, so I'm probably just gonna change the size. And you can change it without like actually modifying the shape by holding down shift and dragging this smaller. Alright, so yeah, that should be a good size. Alright, and now we're going to convert this to a symbol, otherwise it won't let us make a motion tween out of it. So we press convert to symbol. All these look good. Alright, so now this plane is a symbol, and so we have to actually make the motion tween. So right click on the first frame and press create motion tween. And now you're going to want to drag this all the way down to the bottom where you want the plane to land. So mine's probably going to be like around here. And as you can see, you can actually see the path of the plane. So maybe I'll want it to start a little bit earlier. So like right around there, and then it can finish like right here. Alright, and then now you can actually change the path to make it more fluid, so it's not just so straight. So now when I play it, it's actually like it goes like on like the line is curved now, and so that's it makes it seem like a lot more realistic. Alright, and now we are going to rotate this plane down because it's not just going to be facing up the whole time, or facing straight. And then by the end we want it to be rotated straight. Or actually, hold on, maybe rotate it a little bit up. Okay. And as you can see now, it rotates as it goes, and so that should be fine for the plane animation. And so now we're gonna get working on like the background. And so let's make a new layer and drag it below the plane layer, because this is going to be the runway. And so let's add a rectangle, and I'd say like around this height should be fine. Or actually, I'll probably put that a little bit lower. This is really high up, so let's get rid of that line. Or first, let's change this to like a gray color, and now let's get rid of the line. Alright, and then now we're going to drag this down a little bit. Alright. Actually, I'm probably just going to move this plane out of the frame because I don't think that it should have been landing yet. So now let's see how that looks. Yeah, alright, that should be fine. Okay, so we got our runway here, but let's add a little bit more detail to it. So let's create a new layer, and then put this one above the actual runway layer. And we're gonna create some parallelograms to make the lines on the runway. Alright, so I just start off with a big one right here and select it using the free transform tool. And now we're going to rotate it like this. That should be fine, and let's make it a little bit smaller. Alright, this should be fine for the runway. Or maybe actually a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna press Shift and drag this to make it smaller. Okay, so that should be fine. Let's get rid of these lines. Alright, now we're going to change this color to white. And we're going to drag it onto the runway. And then you can duplicate these by holding down Alt. Or hold on, let's deselect it. Alright, hold down Alt and then click it. And now it'll actually duplicate them. So just make a bunch of these. Alright, nice. Oh wait, oops. Okay, there we go. So that should be it for the runway. Maybe let's move these a little bit farther apart from each other. They're a bit close. Oops. Okay. So this should be fine for now. And now we're gonna add like a background to this. So let's put this at the very bottom layer because we're just gonna add like a city, like we did in the first tutorial. Okay, so let's create a new layer, put it all the way on the bottom, and or actually hold on, let's add like a field around here first, just for some more scenery and detail. Alright, so let's change this color to like a nice green. Alright, and then let's warp this up. Or actually, hold on, let's make multiple of these. Let's get rid of lines. Oops, did not mean to do that. Alright. Okay. Oops. Okay, so this should be fine, and let's just duplicate this by pressing Alt and clicking it. There we go. Alright, so this looks pretty good. And now let's add like a skyline behind it like I was saying. So let's create a new layer and put on the very bottom, because we want the city layer to be behind. Alright, and then now from the bottom right here, let's drag the skyscrapers up and change the color to black. Alright, so this is looking good so far. I'll probably time lapse the rest of this just to save some time. Alright, so the skyline for the city, it's about finished. And so now we're gonna get working on the background layer. So again, this is pretty, like all this background stuff is gonna be pretty similar to my first video with the sunset. I'll probably even add the sunset around like the end. Alright, wait, hold on, let's change the color here. Change it to a nice gradient and put it around the middle and alright, there we go. And let's change the color by heading over to colors and then getting rid of all the colors we don't need in a sunset. Alright, so now we're going to select the gradient transform tool and we're going to rotate this gradient. So this looks pretty good, and let's actually move this rectangle down so none of that's showing. Or actually, this looks a little bit too rotated, so we gotta rotate it a little bit more to the right. There we go, that's looking pretty good. Alright, now that we're done with the background, let's get working on the clouds. And after that, we'll do the sun. Okay, so now we have this background, and let's head over to the layer option, and then click on that. And move this to the very top. Alright, and let's start working on our clouds. Let's actually shrink this all down. Alright, and now I'm going to actually make a few more of these and just, instead of, like, I don't want it to be too repetitive, so I'm going to make different shapes of them. Unlike my first video. Alright, now, so we have all the clouds selected, and now we're gonna motion tween these just like we did the plane. So we're gonna hit modify, convert to symbol. Now we're going to create a motion tween, and we're going to drag these all the way out of the frame. Or actually, hold on. First you have to select the frame that you want it to finish on. And so let's move to the last frame, and then move them all the way out of the frame. So now this is what we have right now, and it's pretty good, in my opinion. And so this just shows that the motion tweens are a lot more useful than just classic tweens or just inserting keyframes, because it makes the animation a lot more fluid and it's a lot faster and easier. Alright, so we created our new layer, and we're gonna put it on the second to last second to last layer. So it'll be right above the background but below everything else, because it's going to be the farthest away in the shot. So let's create our sun here. And let's get rid of the lines around it so it looks a lot better. And now let's convert this to a symbol and turn this into a motion tween. Head over to the last frame and drag this all the way out of the frame. Or it's actually okay to just drag it until it's out of sight. So now let's see how that looks. And yeah, this is our finished animation. I hope you guys enjoyed this set of tutorials, and I hope I helped you guys out. Thank you all for watching and staying tuned.